Good morning from a very cold Abington services. It's about -3. Yeah, Charles and Zoe up last night to about 80% and it's there covered in frost. So let's get inside and plan where I'm going to stop first. So boy, it's parky. So let's fire up the beast. 73%. 105 miles. It's not -3, it's -7. Yeah, right, let's put the old defrost on. Scrape. Oh, gets your teeth, doesn't it? So whilst that's warming up, let's have a quick look as to where we're going to go. Now I'm thinking, if you can hear me over the fan, I'll speak up a bit. My gut feeling is to go to Kinross. And I'll tell you why. Because at the park and ride next to Sainsbury's there's some rapids, but there's also some 22 kilowatt AC chargers. So what I'm thinking of doing is topping up, you know, in about 20 minutes on the DC rapid CCS, and then go on the 22 kilowatt, because after yesterday with Nick, it charges up so quickly at a full 22 kilowatts AC. And I might nip to Sainsbury's, get a coffee, use the bathroom, because that's about an hour away, and we all know what, like, men of a certain age's bladders are like after about an hour of getting up. So that's my plan. Yeah, it's only 61 miles away from here to Kinross Services, and I've got 104 on the gas-o-meter. Now I'm going to run with the heater on. It's -7, so let's see after 61 miles how many miles I've got left with 104 on the gas-o-meter. That sounds like a plan. This windscreen is defrosting pretty quick, and when you put the demist on, it also does the window and also the wing mirrors. So yeah, so I'm going to hook up the camera on my driver's window and just do some beauty shots, some B-roll footage as we call it, of the beautiful snowy capped landscapes of North England, just well, Scotland, just below Edinburgh. We're going over the Queen's Ferry Bridge, that's always good for a bit of B-roll footage, and then up to Kinross. So 1 hour 24 minutes, and like I said, about 61 miles. So let's get going. I have to say, this is absolutely stunning. So here we are at Kinross Park and Ride. It's years since I've been here. It used to come to these like 2 in the morning. So anyway, it's Charles Place Scotland Rapid. I'm going to CCS and then jump on these 22 kilowatts. So I've got 100% charge. Got plenty of time. Just want to test, see what CPS are like. So here we go. Yeah, I know there's a tariff. Oh, new chargers. Anyway. Let's go for it. So follow the instructions, show the card to reader. Charles Place Scotland, validating user. Oh, right, okay. Unhook plug from charger. Obviously we're on DC, which is the CCS. This Zoe's humming. I think it's because I've had the heater on. Plug that in, you go back, and because we're on DC, you press start, and it's going to start communicating with the car. Now what I've found with most CCS is hold the plug in nice and tight, because if it's not in hard, it won't communicate properly. And these, oh yeah, it's communicating. We've gone blue at the top. Performing initializing checks, it says on the screen. You'll have to trust me whilst I hold it in. Top tip, just lean on it, keep it firmly pressed in, and when it's made the connection you can let go. It's still performing initial checks. This is normal for CCS, especially on these older 𝐕 machines. Oh, it's looking promising. Hey, we're connected. And how I know that? Because it's starting to count the amount of energy that's going in. 24%. And there we go. So it's doing it. Excellent. It's a warm battery, so it should be pulling 43 kilowatts. And on these, I don't think it'll tell you. No, it doesn't tell you the percentage of charge rate. Yeah, all good. It's saying 1 hour 30 till fully charged. I found out something else that's wrong about electric cars. That has got a frozen screen wash bottle. If only there was an internal combustion engine under the bonnet to keep the screen wash warm or stop it from freezing. I think that's the future, folks. What we need to fit is internal combustion engines in the front of EVs to keep the screen wash liquid, because it's a serious hazard on the roads if you can't wash your windscreen in this salty weather. So I think I'm going to write to the Daily Mail or some other famous, well, so-called famous YouTubers, and tell them there's something else they can moan about, not just brake wear, tyre wear, destroying car parks, slave labour making our car batteries. They're also dangerous because you can't wash your windscreen in the winter because there's no heat from the engine. So still here at Kinross, and I'm going to get something to eat, but whilst I'm waiting for this to get up to around about 80%, I'm then going to jump on the Type 2s at 22 kilowatt to get 100% charge. I'm in no rush, and my next stop is going to be, look at this great videography, folks. I'm going to Tomartin, the Strathdean Dern hub, which is a beautiful place to eat, and it's 114 miles away from here, and it's up through the Cairngorms, so it's going to be pretty cold. So that is where I'm going to head to. So I always like to have a good 20-mile buffer, especially in these temperatures, so I need at least 135, 140 mile range. So I'm guessing in these temps, I mean, I'm still at -2, I'm going to need 100% charge. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, I've been on this so-called 22 kilowatt 𝐕. I've been on for 25 minutes, and I've added the sum total of, wait for it, 1.7 kilowatts. That's definitely not 22 kilowatts. Yeah, okay, let's get going. So, got 138 at 95%. It's still perishingly cold here, folks. It's now saying 1 degree, but it feels like -5. It's so cold. So I've got to drive 114 miles. I'm going to see how much we have left. Okay, 114 miles, 138 on the gasometer. Let's go. Oh, 95%. Let's go.
Half a mile, turn left.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Continue for 2 miles.
Right. It's been gritted. But how beautiful is this, folks? Oh, I love Scotland. Look at that. Nothing wrong with my tyre pressures either. It's absolutely fine. I think the snowplow's been down here as well. Something nice about snow. Where it looks very white, quiet. And we're quite high up. This is in the middle of the Cairngorms. We're now, after we've charged here, we're dropping down to Inverness, which is obviously at sea level. So we are really quite high. We're still at -3 degrees, and I've got 1.6 miles to go. I've got 13 miles left on the range with 7%. So we started out with 138 miles range from memory and 114 to go. So that's what I always do. I always allow an extra buffer, but I usually allow a 10-20 mile buffer, but because I knew the temperatures were going to be lower at this elevation, I wanted as much in the car as possible. So 138 mile predicted range in the gasometer, and I've driven 114, I'm just 1 mile away, and I've got 13 left. So that gave me a realistic range of 114 plus 13. That's 127 miles real world range. 127 real world, but I indicated 140 something, didn't I? What did I say? 138, that was it. So in cold weather, just allow extra buffer on the gasometer. Also, there was some serious roadworks, and I foolishly followed a diversion through Dunkeld, only to be met by a road that had been closed for months. I had to double back, so I lost around about 2-3 miles diverting needlessly. I should have just stayed in the traffic jam on the A9, but I made it here fine, so all is good. Right, it's just down here on the right. I hope it's still open for food. I don't know whether they shut for winter, but it is a community type shop.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right.
Tomatin. There's also a nice distillery here. I used to go to the distillery for a rapid charge, but I go here now instead because they do nice food. And for quite a while the Tomatin rapid wasn't working, which is not uncommon for Charge Place Scotland, I have to say. I'm not going past it, am I? No, it's here, look, on the right.
Take the next right, then your destination will be on the left.
And as per usual, my bladder's done quite well this morning. I definitely need a wee. So here we go. I've had quite a dump of snow here, haven't they, folks? Right.
Your destination is on the left.
Let's get plugged in and be on our way. I'll tell you what. So I've just had some lovely soup at the Three Bridges Cafe here in Strathdene. This is my old dilemma that I used to have, and I've forgotten what it's like. A bit exciting, really. Let me tell you what I mean. I've got to drive from here to Scrabster, and it's 126 miles, I think. Let me just see. It's 126 miles, and said it's going to take me 2 hours 41 minutes. So let's say 3 hours to allow for delays, right? I've got to go another 35 minutes till I get to 100% on this CCS Rapid. So 35 minutes on from 5 to 3 is 3:30. 3:30 plus 3 hours is 6:30. I have to be on the 7 o'clock boat. They start loading up at 6:30. They usually shut the doors at 10 to 7 and sail bang on 7. So it's this toss up between, do you stop and have a splash and dash on the way and you can't guarantee Charge Place Scotland Rapids will be working, or do you stay here, wait till you're at 100%, and then drive really economically in these -3 temperatures? God, I'm talking myself out of it now. To go all the way without stopping. And it's this toss-up, you see. I used to do this with Mitsubishi 𝐈𝐒s and 24 kilowatt-hour Leaf. Is at what point do you stop charging to start your journey so you don't miss the boat? If you stay longer on the charger, you can drive faster. But if you stay, if you want to get there in good time, you've got to unclip earlier. You've got to unhook from the charger earlier, which means you've got to drive slower so you can conserve energy. Do you get it? I really enjoy it. I must be weird, but that toss-up between staying on for a good charge, driving like a maniac, or leaving in plenty of time and drive conservatively, which takes longer, but all with the aim of getting to the boat on time. I'm going to stay on. I'm going to get 100%, and then I'm going to drive in my nerdy fashion and get to the boat. Someone's just come up in an Ioniq 5. Sorry, pal. I am staying on this charger. Right. I'm going to sign off. I'm just going to have a courtesy chat to the chap in the Ioniq who's just pulling over, and just tell him my plans. I'm on here for another 35 minutes. Catch you soon. This thing's incredible. 96%, and I'm still pulling 23 kilowatts. That's mad. Right, I'm going to leave with 99%. That's it. We're off. We're going. So here we go then. I've got 125 miles to go, 135 on the gasometer, and it's -4. Let's see if I get to my ferry with enough charge and before it sails at 7 PM tonight. So I've got to get there for about 6:30. It's now 3:30. It takes 2 hours 45 minutes according to Google Maps. Let's see how we get on. So 5 minutes into the trip, I've got 131 on the gasometer and 121 on the sat-nav. So I've got 10 miles in hand, and it's just dropped to -5. And we're following a gritter. So yeah, following the gritter, doing 38 miles an hour, which does helps with the efficiency, doesn't help with me getting to the boat on time. So at the minute it's saying 6:10, so I've got about 20 minutes in hand, because they'll start loading the boat at 6:30. This is just like old days. I used to love doing this. Not when it's -5 though. See how we go on. So top tip, coming on the road down to Inverness, I'm in drive and just letting the gravity pull me down the hill. I'm doing 55. I'm pulling 11 kilowatts. So yeah, the range has just gone up to 133 miles range with 113 to go. So I've now got 20 miles in hand. So this is the sort of thing you can do. It's just adapt your driving, get a tad slower, and try and recoup some energy by going downhill. Right, quick recap. I've got 50 miles to go. I've got 71 miles on the gasometer at 50%. So I think I'm going to be fine. Estimated time of arrival according to the sat-nav is 6:17, and they start loading the ferry about 6:30. So I've got about a 13-minute window to not get stuck behind any gritters or trucks or any diversions. So all looking good so far. Still a little bit on the tight side, and I'm not saying that for effect. I'm saying it because it's tight, but I'm a bit happy with the range. 49 miles to go, 70 on the gasometer, so I am, come on, 21 in hand. Is that right? Yes, 21 miles in hand. So I can afford to press on a little bit with the throttle. I've left the heating on, of course, so it's at 20 degrees, so I'm not chilled to the bone at -1 outside. But yeah, pressing on, see if I can make up some time, and to allow for any delays or roadworks or diversions for the next 48 miles. I'm going to press on so I can perhaps try and claw back a little bit of time. So this is one of my favourite bits of the A9. This is Berrydale Braes. Now this is a really steep, so let me just have a quick look, 51 miles, 37%. This is a really steep drop to a valley, and then it goes up the other side. But you can recoup a shed load of energy down this hill. And well, you probably can't see it on the camera, but 37%, and I'm just going to see how much I can recoup. Actually pulling 26 kilowatts by going down this hill. Now I'll knock it out of B into D. I'm not touching the brake or the throttle, and if I gather too much speed, pull it back into B again. Not touching the brakes for these hairpin corners. If I'm going too slow, slip it back into D. Sign there, look, 13%, keeping low gear, slow on the road, escape lanes. A bit more B again. I've gone up to 38%, I've gone up to 54 miles on the gasometer, and I'm pulling 26 kilowatts, 25. Nearly at the bottom. 38% and 54 miles. I've got 35 to go. So I've got 50, I've got 20 in hand. 35, 45, 55. I've got 20 miles in hand. And 35 miles to go. Estimated time of arrival is 6:16. This is the other side. Might lose a bit of charge, or coming up the other side of the hill. This is the Berrydale Braes. This has recently been smoothed out because it used to be a real tight hairpin. So we've got 20 miles to go, and I've got 34 miles on the gasometer, so I've got 14 miles in hand at 24%. It's -3, so it's warmed up a bit. But yeah, and we've clawed back 2 minutes, so my estimated time of arrival now is 14 minutes past 6. So I've made it. What's the final numbers then? We'll just wait for this lorry to go the other way. So my screen watch has frozen up again. Visibility is a bit rubbish. Right, I've got 0.4 of a mile to go, so I'm there, half a mile. I'm going to be there in a minute, so I'm going to be there at 13 minutes past 6, so I did rake back some time. And
in a quarter of a mile, your destination will be on the left.
Thank you. I've got 19 miles left at 11%, so I'm well happy with that. So that buffer of what I wanted of around 30 miles slowly whittles down, but 20-mile buffer is just about comfortable, so I'm pleased with that. Good evening, sir. Better late than never.
Hello.
Porterfield.
Yeah. Splendid.
Have I got time just to sit on the rapid charger for a bit, or
Yeah, you'll be alright.
what time are you going to open the gate?
Sorry?
What time are you opening the gate to load up?
I don't know. 1:30.
1:30, that's what I thought.
Roughly.
Okay.
Just trying to rush to come off, so I'll take a wee bit of time. So what's...
So if I sit on the charger, will you give me a wave
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
want to pull out? Cheers. Excellent. Which also means you get a bit of a head start on the boat, which means you can be first off. So I'm going to pull up to the charge place, Scotland Rapid, grab a few electrons for a few moments, just so I get home comfortably. because it's about 20 miles from Stromness to my home, and I've got 19 miles on the GOM, so I'm going to plug in. So there we go, lesson learnt again. The Scrabster Harbour Rapid from Charge Place, Scotland is such an old unit, it's playing up and it's just a lot of hassle. Unfortunately, the Zoe hasn't grabbed hold of the CCS connector or the AC connector, both of which are tried and both of which failed. So I've got 18 miles left. It's about 15 miles to home, so we'll see if we get home okay. I'm going to go on the boat and I'm going to do some editing on the boat whilst I have a meal, because the ferry is an hour and a half long, and then we'll see if I actually arrive at home. So it's 12 miles to my house. We're just about to get off the boat. We've docked in Stromness. I've got 17 miles on the GOM. I don't need to charge, so let's see if I get home with 5 left, which should be about 2%. So I'm 1 mile from my house. Hello, Mr. Turtle. It's the second time I've seen you on this trip. No miles, 3%, which is about 5 miles, and I've got about half a mile to go. Limited performance from Mr. Turtle, but yeah, still accelerates nicely. Thanks for watching.